Today we have the most interactive show that we've ever had. Tell them, JFB.
We got a, instead of a joke of the week, we got a plead, if you will. We're begging for some help here for one of our friends who desperately needs something. And so we're going to do that. We got the news, and then we got the roundest, a round table. So round, it's almost perfect. Every time we do a round table, it gets more and more perfect.
Hit it, Zach.
Hit it.
Coming to you live from the FN Worldwide Media Studios, located in parts unknown.
It's the All Effin' Wrestling Show.
With your hosts, Canada Dry and the JFB.
Tell me how it's priced. Tell me if the item is for sale. And tell me.
Good morning, afternoon, if I don't see you till later. Keep my supper warm in the oven. I am, of course, the everlasting gobstopper of podcasts. I am, of course, the JFB, James from Boston.
And I am the patron saint of professional wrestling. I am that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada Dry, damn it.
Oh, yeah, goes down smooth. Woo.
Smooth.
Bubbles, tickles your nose. It's all good. It's all good. And, of course, we are joined for this roundtable by, of course, none other than Mr. Gran Torino himself, the last assassin. Say hello.
What's up, guys? How you doing today?
And of course, no show for effing wrestling would ever be complete if we didn't have, of course, GM Joe, the greatest American GM in AFW. We got the Golden Graham is in the house.
What's up, guys? Can you believe this? This is the first time I've been on a round table. As
Are
many
you
shows,
kidding me?
I've never been on a round table. I've been on every other kind of show that we've done. I've never done a round table before.
You're so funny because you're just so polite, waiting for your turn, and you know, like you could have been on a long time ago, and you just let me know.
It's okay.
Then be like, I'm not going if I'm not invited.
Well, before we get into everything, we got a very special person in the house. He is the saltiest of the saltiest. He is more saltier than the Dead Sea. We're talking about Alex Haney. He comes in and says, I'm here for the free stuff. 10 green balls.
He's singing a song to us.
Yeah, and one green ball should accidentally fall. There will be 9 green balls sitting on the wall.
No.
Noob Company is in the house. And then, of course, okay, Willy Wonka, where'd you have the DB Cooper loot?
So I have, like, before we get started, I have a serious question. Since Mr. Haney's been singing that song, has anyone actually ever completed that song?
No. Because right around the 5th or 6th bottle of singing, you're already like, this is the most ridiculous thing on the earth. It's not gonna. It's just gonna grate on your nerves. So let's get to some of our dark matches, and of course, one of it is the news.
The news.
From the 4 corners of the globe, from our studios to your home, this is FNN, the FN News Network, starring Canada Dry and the JFB.
good Lord.
Ah, every
No.
time. Every
Oh,
time.
You know I'm coming.
God, it's just scares me
oh man.
every time he shows
You
up.
know I'm coming.
It doesn't
There's
change the fact that you're
also-
just up in my face.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to, I just want to make sure you guys see me.
Boundaries.
How could we not? How could we miss you is the real question.
You never miss me. Is that what you're saying?
All right, line one, lay it on us. What is our strange fact of the week?
All right, let me have a sippy poo. Oh, that's good. Oh. All right. Are you guys fans of Sesame Street?
Oh yeah, I'm down with the street.
Yeah,
You
sure.
know who I love most on Sesame Street?
Cookie
Oscar the Grouch.
No, Bert and Ernie. I remind myself a little bit of Ernie.
A little Ernie
So
quality.
you know where Bert and Ernie got their names from?
Where?
No.
The Christmas movie, It's a Wonderful Life. Bert, the policeman, and Ernie, the taxi driver, where they were inspired the names from.
Okay,
And now they live on forever in Sesame Street lore.
that is pretty freaking awesome. I did not know that. This strange and unusual fact is brought to you Dubby.gg. That's right. If you want to get that energy that the Enlightened One has, only one place you can go, and that's Dubby.gg. No sugars, no jitters, no dyes, colors, not made out of elephant parts. It's not a hot dog.
Elephant.
It's what it is. Pure energy. Go to Dubby.gg, enter in our code FN Wrestling, get 10% off. Whew, man. Man, oh man. Oh, you know who else is in the house? It's Dally.
Dally,
Yeah.
he's loving the show lately. He's been guest staging backstage all week.
Yeah, I love it. Dally is in the house. Caleb's in the house. Good afternoon, all effing. Just keep fighting. So let's get to our news. Last night, the JFB wasn't able to be on Collision After Dark, but I watched it this morning, and Billy Gunn left his boots in the ring. For those who don't know, when a wrestler leaves his boots in the middle of the ring, it usually indicates that it's time for them to ride off into the sunset, to go into retirement. And that's exactly what happened. After the trios match between House of Black and the Acclaimed with Daddy Ass, Malachi Black whispered something into Billy Gunn's ear, and then he left. And then Buddy Matthews whispered something, and next thing you know, Billy Gunn, looking very upset, starts taking off his boots and leaves them in the middle of the ring. The Acclaimed were shocked. Canada Dry, you think he's retiring?
I don't know, but how long does it take to untie your wrestling boots? I know it's a 2-hour show, but you gotta maybe have something that's more tearaway planned out for that.
I figured he had to upstage the fireworks from the beginning of the show last night.
Oh man.
Yes.
Ricky starts in his pyro. Grant Torino, your thoughts on Billy Gunn taking off his boots?
Well, I was in the crowd for that, man, and we were all just staring in awe, like, what in the world is going on right now, dude? And he did take a long time, but like I felt it was like the drama to add, that effect of drama. It's because all of us were watching, just like, say something to us, please. Yeah. Say something. He walked out, not even acknowledging a single person. Oh, dude. So I think it's story, but it got me psychologically. It got me.
Yeah.
So, Grant Torino, you were in chat just as the show was starting, and you said there was someone there who had an all effing wrestling sign?
Well, it said all effing AEW. So I figured it must be one of us, because I know a few guys are from like the Jersey area, but nobody responded, so I don't know. It's a nice sign. They were like front row, maybe hard cam, I think.
Yeah.
I couldn't find the sign, but interesting.
So Caleb says, I miss him so much. Thank you for part of your wrestling career. Dally doesn't think he's going to retire. He thinks it's storyline.
Yeah.
Of course, Alex Haney says, I call BS. No way he's going to miss 80,000 at Wembley. He may turn on the Acclaim, though, but he won't be joining House of Black. And then Dallas has something for Gran Torino. Says, how did it feel being there last night? Did you have fun?
Oh, dude, I love wrestling shows. I go as often as I can.
Yeah.
I feel so alive, connecting with the crowd, just yelling whatever heckles I want and stuff, getting in on chants. It was great. I would hate for that to have been the moment Billy Gunn retired, but that was a great show. I really enjoyed it.
Okay. Effing Goldogram, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think this is a storyline. Like we talked about this last night on Collision After Dark. I would love, because I think Billy Gunn is getting towards retirement. And he's like 60. So I would love to see a storyline where we have the Acclaim just like vignettes trying to talk Billy Gunn into one more match. Look, if we don't win the trios titles, then you can retire, and maybe they beat House of Black at All In.
Yeah.
And go on a little run. And then when he drops the trios titles, that's when he officially retires.
Yeah. Dallas says he wants to go to a show with all four of us.
Oh.
Iowa's kind of central to everybody. So, Dally, you might get your wish sooner than you think.
I'm down with that, Dally.
And then, of course, the last time seeing Cody, I didn't think he was leaving AEW. None of us did. I mean, we all played, devil's advocate. And this guy, Aaron Harder, keeps advertising. I don't know how he got on here.
I'm just letting people know that if you want to be part of the main event and call in and be part of the roundtable, you got to get that link. So
gotta get the link. Speaking of older age wrestlers, how effing ripped is Christian? He looked really in good shape for a guy.
Have you seen the post that he put up on Facebook?
Mm-mm.
Like it basically says it's him with his shirt off in the mirror and he's ripped. He's like, I wrestle in a turtleneck because I'm 49 years old. I'm in better shape than half of the people that are in their prime in wrestling right now.
Oh, I love him.
Pretty true.
When you're that age, you can brag.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. He's earned that right to brag. That's for sure.
So LA Knight apparently is bad at backstage politics and has been rubbing people the wrong way. Speaking of LA Knight, WWE has said that they're going to be waiting. It's WWE said to be waiting for LA Knight's big push. Gran Torino, how fast do you think LA Knight should be getting the rub?
Dude, talking to me about what they do with people like LA Knight is probably the worst thing, because I just see cycles in that promotion that run over and over. I see marketing tactics over and over. So how fast? I don't know, man. They'll give him his shot and they'll try to bury him again, and it'll keep going like that.
Okay.
That's my opinion. So
Golden Grand?
Oh, the story doesn't end, so it's just going to be the story of when he gets his push.
Yeah.
He's never going to get it. If they have
He's going to get it. Don't you worry. The story's not over.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. You keep telling yourself that. But, that seems to be, the big thing in WWE right now is missing the prime time to push someone.
Yeah.
And it's not just WWE. I could say that about Tony Khan. You could say that about Billy Corgan with the NWA, with Natalia. There's so many people around around wrestling that should be pushed that for some reasons they're not, and it's mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Canada Dry, your thoughts?
I want to know. So people are pissed at LA Knight backstage.
So apparently he's really bad at backstage politics, and he's been rubbing people the wrong way.
I don't buy that. I think that's a smokescreen to cancel his push when they don't do it. To be like, look,
but if he is, that's not a good idea.
Not the smartest thing you can do. CJ Nevermind says LA Knight can hope to be Zack Ryder at best at this point. I mean, that's a hot take right there. That's a really hot take. All In is approaching a huge milestone, and that is the most tickets sold for a single wrestling event. Now, if you're questioning what's number one, that's WrestleMania 3. Now, of course, the WWE loves to inflate that number, but the actual number was 78,000 were sold not given away, it would be closer to 80,000 with the tickets that WWE gave away for WrestleMania 3. But currently, right now, we have all in at 75, 76,000 paid. Canada Dry, I'm going to go with you first. They break the WrestleMania record?
I think they will. I think they will.
Yeah. Gran Torino?
I hope they will, but whatever happens, happens. It's not important to me. I hope they will, though.
Yeah.
It would be cool.
Golden Grand?
I mean, I don't know if they will. I hope they do, but either way, like to say they've sold 76,000 tickets without announcing one match, is amazing.
It's huge.
I
imagine when they start announcing matches, like you're gonna sell a few more.
Yeah, imagine once they say, "Oh, the main event is Adam Cole versus MJF" or something like that.
Yeah. So, probably one of the greatest bookers of all time is Kevin Sullivan. Now, I'm a little biased. He's from Boston, Massachusetts. So am I. So, of course, I have to say he's the best in the world at booking. But he talked on a podcast about possibly contracting himself and consulting for AEW. Canada Dry, would you like to see Kevin Sullivan kind of go in and start booking?
I wouldn't mind him helping Tony Khan out, because honestly, Tony needs all the help he can get, because this is a war and you got to have all the guns you can get.
Yep, absolutely. Gran Torino?
Also, I kind of view AEW as like a world stage for all the people in the industry to show their stuff off. So I kind of even look at that like Kevin Sullivan could come in and just book a few feuds. You know, it would be like a booking era for a certain wrestler where Kevin Sullivan oversaw what they were up to, you know? So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's
what
I'm saying.
Oh, I think he absolutely should. Like, he's definitely one of the better minds of wrestling that's out there to get.
Yeah.
Like, and like you said, between 3 weekly shows, ROH, like, you need constant new blood, new energy, new ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some people don't like Kevin Sullivan because of his backstage politics, but I mean, you know, let's face facts. Some of the most memorable matches in NWA and WCW and Mid-South and Florida, all the brainchild of Kevin Sullivan. So, AEW is doing great business, and a lot of it has to do in the ratings with the Adam Cole and MJF program that they got going on. Their numbers have increased over 40% during those times when Cole and MJF are on the television. So can't beat that. Now let's talk about Roosh. Roosh is said to possibly being courted by WWE when his contract ends in a couple of months. Golden Graham, do you want to see Roosh in WWE?
I don't know. Like, Triple H and WWE doesn't have the greatest track record with Latino performers unless it's Rey Mysterio or Eddie Guerrero, really. I mean, look what they did with Chavo, making him Kerwin White. I mean, they couldn't get...
Wow, what a horrible decision.
Yeah, but like, I'm drawing a... What was the botch master? I'm drawing a blank to his name. The luchador who...
Yeah.
Ram at the week.
Yeah, Sin Cara. Like, they couldn't get him like, I think if they let Roosh come in and be Roosh, it'll be great. But if they try to wrestle like WWE, which is what they're going to want, I don't think he's going to be a fit there.
Yeah. Canada, Dry, your thoughts?
I think that, you know, Roosh is a very good talent. And if WWE ups the money, because right now he's making quite a bit more than you'd make in NXT.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It has to be a main roster deal where he's getting the big bucks. And, you know, AEW doesn't need everyone. So if they do them right, I don't mind. Like, it doesn't mean that everyone has to stay in AEW.
Yeah.
You know, if he fits better there and he gets more money, all the more power to him.
Look, the best thing that AEW has done is force WWE to pay its people more money.
Yes. Randy Orton used AEW on his last contract. He played WWE like a violin.
Yeah.
The way he used AEW.
Yeah. New company says, look at the LWO. They're becoming a big deal. And of course, Alex Haney says his brother already doing well in NXT.
Yeah, Dragon Lee.
Yeah, you make Roosh the head of the LWO. Forget Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
You make Roosh the head of LWO?
Yeah.
Then you got something.
You should make Roosh the head and just let Ray be the mouthpiece.
Yeah.
No. You do it like this. You have Roosh be part of it and turn on Ray and kick him out.
Yeah.
And you make him a heel faction.
Yeah.
I mean WWE has enough heel factions. They need a really strong babyface faction at the moment.
Yeah.
I know, when has wrestling ever had a really strong babyface faction? Like, you can't really name any. They're all heels.
Yeah.
They're good.
I mean, even the Hart Foundation, when they were going against DX, they were essentially.
I got a babyface faction. Ready?
Yeah.
The Union.
They lasted a week?
Yeah, like a week or two. It wasn't much.
Like that much time.
We were there for a cup of coffee.
That much. If you're looking for NXT's foreseeable future, well, you know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to include, of course, Judgment Day. That's right. Word is that Judgment Day will be part of NXT for the foreseeable future. Yeah. Anyways, want to take a stab at what Wheeler Yuta said on a podcast recently?
Oh, I know what he said.
Yeah, he said, and I quote, AEW is 100% capable of doing an all-women's pay-per-view. Canada Dry.
I would love an all-women's pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I think it would be great. I'd love to see them, bring in a few other women and round this out well.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So, Gran Torino, your thoughts?
So once again, AEW is not an island. So it's not like just those women that we see every week are all they can utilize. So they can definitely build a pay-per-view from around the entire industry to put together. And they could pull that off to get some hype between it with some big names, depending who's willing to work with them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got New Japan, you got AAA right off the bat. That's two right there that got a flush of women's talent.
Yeah.
Oh, Graham, your thoughts?
Okay, so could they do it? Yes. Should they do it? That's another question. Because one, they do literally one women's match every show. You can't sell a pay-per-view that way.
Yeah.
And secondly, AEW doesn't do the bad business deals with Saudi Arabia that WWE does that facilitates the necessity for an all-women's pay-per-view, because for the longest time, women couldn't perform in Saudi Arabia, which is the only reason why we got that.
Yeah, there's a reason, Golden Graham, that WWE never went back to that.
Yeah. It didn't pull good numbers.
But they started letting women go to Saudi Arabia, so they didn't need to anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah. I got one more bit of news, and of course, that's about Marty Jannetty. So for everybody out there that are Jannetty fans, Shawn Michaels on a podcast was asked about Marty Jannetty possibly becoming a PC coach or a performance center coach. His only answer to it was Matt Bloom handles those decisions.
That's called passing the buck.
Yeah, that's called passing the buck, ladies and gentlemen.
Marty.
Okay, so
Look, hey, Shawn Michaels didn't get to where he was by not being politically correct. Okay,
there you go, pretty much. So let's get to our. Well, we normally this is the time when we do our joke of the week, but I'm going to hand it off to Canada Dry for a second. I think Canada Dry kind of can give an intro to this and kind of give us a little meat on the bone here.
All right. So this started yesterday. It was on Collision After Dark, the Garage. So we just had fun yesterday in chat, and it just came about that we wanted to buy Caleb a Happy Meal.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of just grew. And you know what? If you guys want to chip in a few bucks, we're gonna see if we can get this thing rolling, and we're gonna throw them a big old McDonald's party.
Yeah. Heck yeah!
So-
This is the video from Caleb.
And so yeah, we'll show the one from Tony Khan first, and then we'll show the one from Caleb after.
Okay, here's from Tony Khan.
Calling all Happy Meal heroes, our buddy Caleb needs your assistance to conquer the most epic quest of his life, the pursuit of the legendary Happy Meal. Picture him frantically searching for spare change and couch cushions, a hilarious sight resembling a treasure hunter on a mission, but fret not, we're here to save the day. We are a league of Happy Meal champions determined to bring joy to Caleb's heart and nourishment to his belly. With just a few bucks from each of us, we'll combine our forces like a tag team effort, granting Caleb the Happy Meal wonder he truly deserves. Imagine his eyes lighting up like a championship belt when he opens that box. The thrill of discovering the toy of the day will be like a wrestler's victorious entrance, leaving him grinning from ear to ear. The burger and fries will fuel him up, providing strength and agility worthy of a lucha libre superstar. But why not just hand him the cash? The chase is half the fun. We want Caleb to unleash his inner Happy Meal warrior, venturing forth to claim his prize like a fearless gladiator. So, dear friends, let's unite like a motley crew of Happy Meal advocates and fulfill Caleb's dream. A few bucks from you, a few from me. Together we can create the best Happy Meal surprise party ever. Join the movement and let's make Caleb's Happy Meal dreams come true to Happy Meals and beyond.
I mean, Tony Khan just flat out just said, guys, you need to do this.
That's like the nicest words I've ever heard Tony Khan say, and he says a lot of nice words.
Yeah. So if you want to contribute to Caleb's Happy Meal Fund, you can PayPal FN Wrestling at BigShinyMatrix@hotmail.com, and make sure when you do, you write Caleb Happy Meal in so we know what it's for.
Yeah.
And of course, let's play the video by Caleb.
I want a Happy Meal, please.
He wants it.
He even
wants
said
simple.
these guys like manners and everything.
Yeah. I mean, you can't beat it. All right, let's get into the main event, guys. Because, let's get into the main event.
Gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Wow. You know what's funny looking at the videos that we have on that main event video, how sparse the back of the wall up behind you was and how it's progressively just got filled in.
On my wall.
Yeah. It like started with like a belt and a couple knickknacks, and now it's like this whole thing. It's turning into like a wrestling museum. So
there's stuff I can't even put back there.
yeah,
Like, I have other stuff. It's like it doesn't fit.
so we do the round table. We're doing a little bit different than normal. We got Dally waiting backstage. She's got a question for all of us. So I say we go ahead and get Dally on and have him ask a question. So Dally, you there?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
I can. We can. Absolutely.
Hi, Dally.
How does it feel to
Hey.
be our first call-in to the show?
It feels great being able to talk to my F and F buddies.
The F&F buddies? Is that what we are? We're the F&F buddies?
Like this is
Proudly.
this is because wasn't he like one of the first guests on the very first
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
podcast?
me, JFB, and Canada Dry.
Whoa.
Can't beat it. All right. What's the question, brother?
Okay, so which match do you guys want to see as the first match, the opening match at All In? And which match do you want to see as the main event?
Ooh.
That's a good one. I'm going to go Gran Torino first.
Let's
All
take
right.
Dally out so then we can bring in someone else after.
Okay.
So
Thanks for
Bye,
the question, Dally.
Hi, Dad.
an opening match. I would like to see something like a luchador opening. something like that. I don't know. Maybe something like Phoenix versus Hijo del Vikingo,
Ooh,
something like that for the
yeah.
AAA Mega Championship. Because I think that it's going to be like a cross promotional super show. So that's like an opening match I would like to see.
Yeah.
And for the main event, that's a really hard one because I had fantasies brewing and Hammerstone lost his belt, so I don't see that coming by a long shot now. And I don't know. I guess Cole and MJF just because I haven't really taken time to think about it out of my disappointment. So that's my fantasy booking. I was hoping Hammerstone MJF,
Yeah.
champion versus champion, but Hammerstone dropped that belt, so
That would be so good. Golden Graham, your turn.
Okay, so I think the opener that I want is Zack Sabre Jr. versus Samoa Joe versus Orange Cassidy. Just the 3 mid-belt guys.
Okay.
ooh.
And then
All belts on the line.
that's for Tony Khan to figure out, not me.
Okay.
And then the main event, oh man, like there's just so many options. Like I wouldn't
Yeah, it's
mind
tough.
seeing Kenny and Will run it back one more time. Like
Yeah.
you could give
Yeah.
me Aussie Open versus the Elite in a 6-man tag match. Like there's just so many options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to go with, because it's in Wembley, Will and Kenny running it back for number 3.
Yeah.
So
Great choice.
I'll go next. We'll say Canada Dry for last. With it being in England, you want to have kind of an English flavor to it. You kind of want to have an English flavor to it. So,
Like fish and chips, mate.
thing is a match, right? So for the opening match, I would like to see Pac versus Claudio.
That would be good.
Ah,
And in the main event, I think you need to have something revolutionary because this is a big stage. I mean, this is the biggest show they've ever done. This is past 10,000 for All In. Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter for the AEW Women's Championship main event.
Ooh,
That's what I'm going with.
that's big too.
that
Yeah.
would be massive.
Nice
And
choice.
You got to follow it up, brother.
All
Hell
right,
yeah.
so I'll start with my main event first,
Okay.
and that's Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega lost in his home country, so what a better way than for Kenny Omega to beat him in his own country.
Okay.
And then my opening match is Chris Jericho versus Sting in a retirement match.
Ooh.
The
Ooh.
loser
that's pretty
retires.
So either one of them can retire?
Yeah, whoever wins has to retire, or whoever loses has to retire.
That's
Okay.
pretty cool. I
That's-
like it.
Dally agrees. He says you're an evil genius.
Yeah.
We got Caleb backstage. You want to see what his question is?
I want
go.
to know what Caleb has to say.
Caleb backstage. Hey Caleb, how you doing, brother?
What his question is? I want to know what Caleb has to say.
Hey, F in the West Wind.
What's going
Hey,
on, Caleb?
Caleb.
I got a question for everybody. Hey, F in the West Wind.
He needs to mute his feed.
What's your question?
You guys want to see Brian Dust and All In? You guys want to see Brian Dust and All In?
Well, let's take Caleb. Thanks for the question, Caleb, and we'll answer it very quickly.
Okay. Let's go with Gran Torino again.
Who did he say?
You want to see Blood and Guts done again and All In?
No, I like that once a year annual feel for it, get it all out and then build towards something new. It would be cool, big for the over the seas in Europe and stuff to get their own show like that, but not this soon.
I'll go next. I don't want Blood and Guts, but you know what I would like? I'd like a big old cage match.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
That'll be fun.
Okay. Golden Graham?
No, because I don't like I hate the fact that we have every year just a show called Blood and Guts. I would much rather just it be when the feud calls for it.
Yeah.
Not doing what WWE did where, it's October, it's time for Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
And we're just doing Hell in a Cell matches to do Hell in a Cell matches. Like, I prefer it be just a natural part of the story that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I don't want to see blood and guts. That, number one, it takes so much out of those guys. I mean, that's 60 plus minutes of wrestling right there. I mean, that's a lot of wrestling and a lot of blood and a lot of injury.
And AEW's cage matches are special too because that cage is massive.
It is. It's a huge cage. It's ginormous. I wouldn't want to see blood and guts. I think if you have it so many times throughout the year, it dilutes it. It's not special anymore.
Alex
That
also
being
makes
said, I wouldn't mind.
Alex makes a very good point, though.
He does, yeah. Alex Haney says a stadium with 80,000 that can't see. Yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, I wouldn't mind AEW moving Blood and Guts to a pay-per-view so we could get the proper viewing of it.
Yeah.
Instead of the commercials.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I got a question I want to pose to the group, and that's this. Should there be, speaking of blood and guts, after the match, Kenny Omega got on the mic. He did a promo after AEW Dynamite ended. And the two groups, Blackpool Combat Club and, of course, the Golden Elite, shook hands. Should there be shaking of hands between rivals after a grueling match like Blood and Guts, or should there be a new age of kayfabe? I'm going to go Canada Dry first.
We had a big old debate about this.
Yes, we did.
We had we had to calm each other down after this in the AFW chat right after, because we have these two schools of thoughts on this.
Yep.
That there should be, because it's kayfabe, and you can't. But I'm of the opinion that it kind of diminishes Blood and Guts a tiny bit. Yeah. You just went to war with these guys, and now you're shaking hands.
Yeah.
I don't like that way of ending the story.
Okay. Gran Torino?
So I know I used to train in like samurai jiu-jitsu and stuff, and we get taught the warrior culture of Japan, which is Bushido. Mm-hmm. And just food for thought, a lot of these guys are from like wrestling in Japan as well, so they've probably adopted this kind of warrior culture mentality. But in Bushido, you're trying to find the greatest battles you can find. If you're meditating on death, you're meditating on defeat, you want to be defeated. So somebody like Moxley, his character, if you've watched his whole career develop, this is a guy that wants to find a good fight. So the fact that this is the second time in a row he's lost at Blood and Guts, he couldn't pull his team together. He's not blaming the opponents for this. He's blaming himself.
They won last year.
No, they lost.
No, they beat Chris Jericho.
Yeah, no, they won last. Yeah, because they had. No, Jericho it was Jericho who tapped out to Claudio. Because
Claudio Anarchy in the Arena is what I'm thinking about. Yeah. My bad. Yeah. So I'm sorry. I apologize for that. But
I forgive you.
I'm just saying that he looks in himself why he loses. He doesn't hold any bitterness. So like, I think it makes sense that at the end of that kind of battle where he's made a lot of mistakes, getting caught up in his own brutality instead of winning, he shook hands.
Yeah. Okay. Golden Grand?
It doesn't bother me.
I mean, I'm with Gran Torino on this. Like, this doesn't bother me. I looked at it as two sets of warriors went out there, gave their all, and you see it all the time in like legit MMA. They'll sit there, they'll pound each other in the face for 20 minutes, and then get up and hug and shake hands. Yeah. Even though for the last 4 months build up, they were sitting there nothing but talking trash to each other.
Yeah.
Like when you get into physical combat with somebody, you gain a different appreciation for them.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, JP?
I mean, personally, I love kayfabe. And for me, kayfabe got ruined pretty quickly when Jim Duggan and the Iron Sheik got caught drinking and speeding and drugs in the car. That crushed me. Like, because, for years my dad would say, oh, wrestling's fake. It's not real. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Look at what they're doing in the ring. And then when you read the article that a bad guy and a good guy are together in the car, and I'm like, And my father was like, see, I told you.
You
Kayfabe
know
was
the
real.
funny thing about that? It wasn't in any dirt sheets or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was just word of mouth.
Yeah.
That's how we got it. Like I found out in the schoolyard.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah. And I mean, I'd love to see a new era of kayfabe where you don't necessarily have to keep a kayfabe 100%, but like these two guys for the last 2 months have just beaten the living hell out of each other. They should have not shook. They should have just, even though it's the end of the story and we know it's not going to continue. They should have done it. Alex Haney says, actually, this one first. Dally says, me, Joe Torino versus Aaron Haney and JFB in a blood and guts mush handshake after match.
My hands
King
will be
already
covered in
denied
blood,
my
so I'm
handshake.
doing it.
Alex Haney says, yes, but in martial arts, they don't try to kill people with broken glass and stab people with screwdrivers. That's kind of...
No, they just have katanas and sais and nunchucks and everything else.
Caleb says Pac versus Gravity this week on Dynamite. I mean, that's the man Gravity forgot for sure.
I thought I read it wrong for a second. I said Pac versus Granny. I'm like, he's gonna beat up a granny.
Pac would do it. Pac would absolutely do it.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah. And
no shit in it.
Yeah, CJ says, yeah, in martial arts, they use swords and poison darts. So, oh, man. If you guys got questions, hit the link. But I'm going to go into a second one, and that is going to be this. After Don Callis was attacked by a fan in Tijuana, which kind of says a lot because it is Tijuana. If you've never been to TJ, that place is not the safest place in the world.
There's a reason they tell Marines not to go to Tijuana.
Don't go to Tijuana. Just don't. Trust me. You walk down an alley, next thing you know, you're going to see a show you don't want to see and can never unsee it ever again. So with fans who try to hurt him, what more can we do to improve safety for the fans and for the wrestlers? I'm going to go with Gran Torino first.
Well, I think it was a member of like a media team that just got confused or something. Like the video was like on a football field or something, like a soccer field. But I think first and foremost, fans need to just get their passion turned down a little bit and let these guys do their thing, Yeah, you don't need to get mad as hell that Don Callis is beating up Kenny Omega. Like,
I mean, this isn't the first incident. I mean, it goes all the way back to the 30s and the 40s where fans would try to stab, shoot, and kill the wrestlers because they were bad guys. So, Golden Graham, what is your thoughts?
Well, I think like especially for the whole Don Callis thing, and yes, I know, but if it was a fan, like there's should be way more security there because it's a very open field. Maybe don't do it in an open field. Have it in a controlled place where it's a lot easier to control fans.
Yeah.
And just have more security. Like, but then again, fans, it's a story. This isn't real. You got to remember. Everyone knows what they're doing.
Well, Dally says it's still real to him, damn it.
Of course it is. It's Dally.
Canada Dry, your thoughts on this?
Well, definitely. You gotta beef up the security because, all the wrestlers need to feel safe in order to do their job to the utmost. If you're worried about someone coming in, you're not going to have a 5-star match.
Yeah.
You're going to be looking over your shoulder, right? That shouldn't be a worry for the wrestlers. Yeah, just beef up security and do it in places where it's safe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, fans need to understand that they're there entertaining you. You don't see some drunk guy run up to the screen and try to jump into the movie because, John Wick is getting his butt kicked. You don't see that. But somehow some wrestling fans can't separate from reality that these are just characters. Like, they're just acting. Don Callis may be a jerk in real life. I don't know. The one time I met him was a quick encounter, and he was really nice. I met him at something for New Japan they were doing in the States, and Don Callis was there, and I shook his hand. And CJ says, "Did any of you watch the video? It looks a little sus to me, and TJ ain't that bad."
He is a Marine.
Yeah, he is a Marine, so that would make sense. He would love to see that in a movie theater.
So
You know what I'm sick of? This Barbie movie.
Here's my thoughts. I like.
How many times did you watch it?
Yeah, Greta Gerwig, who's the writer director, is an amazing voice in women in film. She is an amazing voice, great writer, great director. It's gotten really good reviews. I don't know if I would go see it. If I did, it would be because of Greta Gerwig. It wouldn't be because of Margot Robbie or Ryan.
The only reason I'd go to that movie is if a pretty girl dragged me there. I would go if a pretty girl dragged me there. That's the only reason.
I would be all right with that. I was so sad when Troy and Gabriella broke up. I punched the TV. Okay. And then Dally says, "Shut up, Dry. Barbie is amazing." And then Dally goes, "I think Dally's asking you out on a date. What if I dragged you there?"
You bought my popcorn and my big soda.
And it's a date.
Yeah.
And some gummy bears. And I'm in.
Yeah. Noob says, "I mean, a lot of Joshi wrestling fans need to, that it's just a show and they're acting that they're playing a character." I mean, you can't go wrong. CJ says, "Come on, Canada Dry, let's go party."
You know what?
I said that in my voice from Aqua, the guy who sings in that song.
Yes.
It's not even in the movie.
It's not in the movie. For some reason, they couldn't get the rights to it. So
that's because Mattel tried to sue Aqua back in the 90s over that song, and the judge is like, "No, you can't do that."
Yeah. Dally retorts with, "Can you just get a free water and I bring a flavor packet and sneak in some mints?"
That's thinking,
I'm like,
Dally.
can I get another one of those pocket mints, Dally? This movie's kind of sucky.
And Justin says, "I hear that, Dallas. You hear that, Dallas? I think he wants to pay." Let's go to our next question. With the Bloodline storyline pretty much now on its final legs, I don't see it lasting that much longer. What do you see as the next big storyline in the WWE?
Can I go first?
Yeah, you go first.
If you saw the tweet from Uncle Howdy yesterday, Cody Rhodes. So I think this could be fun. Cody Rhodes versus Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. It'd be nice to see Bray come back. It'd just be nice.
And you could easily have Bray win the first one.
Yeah.
Cody wins the next one. Just a nice old 50-50 booking.
Yeah. 50-50 booking. Can't do it wrong that way. Gran Torino.
So I'm just gonna agree with Canada Dry there because I haven't really watched it in like 2 months. Kind of gave up on it. So I really don't know where they're going with anything. I watch like montage stuff, highlights and stuff because it's pretty much the same thing if you watch the whole show. But so I'm going with Canada Dry. We're going Uncle Howdy versus Cody Rhodes.
Okay. Golden Grand?
Oh, the next big storyline is Judgment Day.
Yeah.
It's going to be I fully expect Finn to win the title at SummerSlam. And then
I'm excited for this.
Yeah. And then I don't know if it's that same night or if a little while down the road, but we're going to get a Priest versus Finn program.
You know what? What's going to be nice is Finn's going to have that belt, and Priest is going to be beside him with that case.
Like,
and it's just
I kind of hope it's not the same night because I want the image of Dom with the NXT North American title, Priest with the Money in the Bank, Rhea with her title, and Finn with the world title, and all four of them just standing in there where they can finally say, we won Raw, we run NXT type.
And you would get this cool little storyline of seeds being sowed between Finn and Priest.
Yeah.
I mean, they've already started that, and that's going to be another good story.
Yeah,
it's not going to be a 3-year-long story like the Bloodline, but.
And what about Priest's, what's his name, McDonough or whatever?
JD McDonough?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could we have Priest replaced by McDonough in the Judgment Day? It's
either that or
Priest leaves.
That or no, like they kick out Finn, and Finn and JD
Yeah.
team up to take down Judgment Day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could work too.
Yeah. Either way could happen. With a soft roster split in AEW, that's easy to say. Which show have you been impressed with, and what show should be the A show? I'm going to go with Gran Torino on this one.
So I don't know. I really like the narratives that they're portraying on Collision a lot. I like that it's like isolated characters on there, so it's consistent. They don't have to bounce around to other stuff. So I don't know, a show, like the flagship show. I guess right now I still would prefer it to be Dynamite.
Yeah.
But I really do enjoy the storytelling going on in Collision, especially in the ring. Like they're on top of it over there.
Yeah, absolutely. Golden Graham, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Dynamite's going to stay the A show just because of the time slot it's in.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, like, I think it's more like a 1A and 1B because they both do very good job, but they're both two totally different things. It's like back in the day when you had Raw and SmackDown, where Raw was clearly the sports entertainment show and SmackDown was more of the wrestling focused show. They both did their own thing really great. That's how I feel with Dynamite and Collision.
Yeah. Golden Graham, Canada Dry.
Yeah, I completely agree with GM Joe. It's an apple and an orange.
Yeah.
They're both great, but I don't like taking the peels off the orange. That's the annoying part. I'd rather just slice it.
You could just buy them pre-peeled at the grocery store.
Yeah.
No, I can cut it. I'm not that big of a wuss.
Dally's got another. I'm curious what Dally has to say about this. I think Dally's got another question. So, Dally, what's going on, brother?
I have been wildly impressed by Collision, actually, because I love the setup and I love how they talk with the wrestlers before the show starts. And I really like how they feature like specific stars that we might not have seen like recently on Dynamite, like FTR. Juice Robinson has been getting so much airtime, more than CM Punk even.
Yeah.
And Jay White and the Guns, Malachi Black, Andrade, Miro. Like, it's really becoming like a true brand split that is like working out for the best, I feel.
Yeah.
Before you go, Dallas, you're not going to buy me popcorn. You're not going to buy me that big old soda pop. You're not going to buy me gummy bears. Come on.
I'm cheap.
I mean,
I go to a restaurant and I bring like packets, so I have to buy a pop.
Yeah.
I will defend Dally
the same
here
thing.
real quick because if you want a soda and a popcorn from an American movie theater, that's like $30.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not including
Okay.
tickets.
We will go halfers on the big popcorn,
Okay.
and we'll sneak in a cup and we'll share the pop.
But we have to drizzle it in butter.
Okay.
You know what's great is at my movie theater, like they actually let you put your own butter on the popcorn now.
Oh yes, I love that when I do that. I've been to a movie theater that they let you order steak and shrimp.
What?
Wow.
Oh yeah.
I'm not doing that because I'm gonna want to take a nap afterwards.
Yeah, it was very satisfying. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say, guys.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Dally.
Dally.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, and if you want to get in on the questions that JP's asking us, you could just answer as well.
Yeah. I'll say this. So, pertaining to theaters and all that rigmarole. Obviously Oppenheimer, which is Christopher Nolan's newest movie, just came out this weekend. He shot 95% of the movie in IMAX. And so if you want to go see it in 70 millimeter at an IMAX theater, there's only 17 or 18 locations that are doing it. But the tickets cost $25 each. But that's not the kicker. The IMAX reel.
I've seen that. It's
600 pounds is what it
saw
weighs.
Oh.
11 miles long.
It's
And
like
controlled
it's
by
a 3-hour movie, right?
What's that?
Oppenheimer's a 3-hour movie, right?
It's a 3-hour plus movie, yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
and the best part is that it's all run by a software emulation that emulates the software on a Palm Pilot. So yeah, if you want to go see Oppenheimer in IMAX and you want to get popcorn and a drink, you have to take out a small equity loan.
Wait, they still make Palm Pilots?
No, this is a Palm Pilot from 2002 that's essentially running the IMAX projection.
That's hilarious.
It's hilarious. So let's go to my next. You know what? I have another question, but I'm gonna pepper in a "Would you rather" because I have a good one. Would you rather have Scott Steiner teach you about math, or would you rather have Vince McMahon teach you about the sexual harassment policies in the WWE? Canada Dry, you go first.
I'm not a math guy, so I feel like we both get confused. So I would love to be in a room where Vince McMahon is teaching about sexual harassment. That would be a kicker.
You can do whatever you want.
I'm like, okay. And I want to film it too. So.
Yeah, exactly. Dally says, I'd rather Vince teach me about the policies. I could always use some good tips on how to successfully run a prediction league.
Does he say he's going to sexually harass the competitors?
Probably. Gran Torino, what do you want? You want a math lesson or a human resources lesson?
I think I would much rather get a math lesson from Scott Steiner. I'm sure we would have a lot more enjoyable conversations, and I would feel less dirty from hanging out with him than if I was around Vince McMahon in any capacity.
And may I add, Gran Torino, that you might feel a little bit more smart.
Yeah, right?
I'm smart. Look at me.
You come out of there like, I know maths.
Golden Graham, your turn.
Oh, give me a math with Steiner. The way he talks circles in math, I feel like if I could master that, I could make a small fortune off someone just by confusing them. Like I could sit here and get like a great rate on like a mortgage and then flip it real quick. We'd be good.
Yeah. You can play the whole game where it's like, hey, can you give me 220s for a 10? If you do it really fast enough, you can bank some really good amount of money.
Oh yeah, and then you're like, no, I gave you this, and then they're all leaving.
We're gonna do Scott Steiner math because I am going to go ahead and become rich. Kush is in the house.
What's up, Kush?
Kush?
What's up, Kush?
Yeah. So I guess I'm trying to think which question I want to give. So as we head past the halfway point of 2023, I want you guys to give a letter grade to AEW and WWE, what you would rate them and grade them, and then who is their MVP from both the men and the women in both AEW and WWE. So let's go with Canada Dry first.
All right. So when's this from? From
January 1st to today.
All right. January 1st till today, I'm giving AEW B+.
Okay.
But they have attention deficit disorder, and they need to stop talking to their neighbors.
Yeah.
But that Orange Cassidy, he's a hell of a student.
Hell yeah, he is.
But he needs to just work more on his ambition.
Yeah. Okay.
And WWE, I'm going to give them, they've gotten a little bit better lately. So I'm going to give them C+.
Okay. C+. All right.
And I'm going to give Roman Reigns the nod on this one.
Okay. Gran Torino, it's your turn.
All right, so I'll just get WWE out of the way. I'll give them an F because they made me stop watching.
Yeah.
So they're out of it for me. And if they got an MVP before I stopped watching, I'm going with LA Knight because he's a saint. He's going through all that crap at that time around January that they were putting him through right up to WrestleMania, and he's a saint. So AEW. I'm not
He's a
super
saint. He's
critical.
a saint.
That's right. AEW, I'm gonna give them a B plus as well, just because like I don't want to be super unbiased, and I know they make mistakes, although I don't take their mistakes to heart as much as a lot of other fans do.
Yeah.
I will say I accept that they're there, and
Yeah.
their MVP. I'm with Canada Dry, Orange Cassidy, man. That boy has taken his character to a whole nother level. With like the only thing he cares about is that belt. You know, like, he'll get up and work for that belt, and before that, it was like, what do I have to do next? You know, so I like Orange Cassidy as well.
Okay. Golden Graham, your turn.
Okay, so I really thought about this, and I think WWE, like, I'm giving it like a C plus because I feel like they've really dropped the ball with people like LA Knight, like as much as they did with Cody. Like, I feel like Cody should, like, I know where they're going now, but Cody still could have won at Mania, and they could still be telling the same story now with
Yeah.
Jay and Roman without the belt. But my MVP for WWE is Jey Uso. Like,
Okay.
just what he's been doing, wrestling wise, story wise, like the acting that he's doing to me, like it's like second to none.
Yeah.
And for AEW, like I'm going to give it an A minus because I like if for all of its flaws, I just it's if it wasn't for AEW, I wouldn't be watching wrestling right now. I wouldn't be on this podcast.
Yeah.
And it's MVP. Like, I don't want to say Orange Cassidy because the other two have, but like he's definitely the first one. I mean, that or like just Blackpool Combat Club as a whole. Like for me, like everything they've done. Yes, I know you don't like them. You're supposed to hate them, okay? Canada Dry.
No, because I love Daniel Bryan. Brian Danielson.
But like just the character work that they've done this for the last 6 months to me has been great.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with WWE first. I'm gonna give WWE a B because they've put out some really good product recently, and a lot of it has to do with the bloodline. I like the organic push that LA Knight's getting. I'm not a big fan of the new belt. I think they need to make a bigger deal about it. I mean, it's Raw's World Championship. You should make it a huge deal, especially because it is a new belt and you have to establish that. IMVP though for WWE is Roman Reigns. I mean, I don't think anybody's doing the work that he's doing on a limited appearance that he's doing because he's not there every day. He's not there every week. So AEW, I'm going to go with an A minus. AEW has one big problem, or they got two huge problems, and the reason why I can't give it an A plus, and that is that they have trouble with go home shows to big pay per views, or just they build it and then it just drops, and then you hope that they pick it, which they do. They always pick it up and they run with the ball on their pay per views, but they have problems with go home shows and they have problem with short term storytelling. They need to work on those things. And I think bringing guys in like Kevin Sullivan, Daniel Bryan, Chris Jericho, these guys can give you the outline and then Tony Khan can build off of it. So
as good as AEW's pay-per-views are, imagine if they had a great go-home show, how much better it would be.
Oh, it would be fantastic. And I mean, like, you know, the go home to the New Japan Forbidden Door pay-per-view was really good. And I mean, it was solid. It wasn't the greatest go home show, but it was super solid.
The last 2 minutes was amazing.
Yeah, and it got you excited about Forbidden Door. And they need to do this for All In because you're dealing with All Out first and then All In a week later. That's a lot of money for a fan to spend. And so you want to make sure that you get, you want to make sure that go home show to All In has to be a 10. It has to, because that's what's going to carry into a historic moment in their history.
Yeah.
is near 80,000 people screaming about how great their product is. So
AEW could literally be their make or break it moment.
exactly, yeah. They're either going to ride or they're going to die, and they're going to do it all off of All In, because if they can prove that they can sustain a 50 to 60,000 stadium show and it's good and people have a good time, who's to say that they don't have the rest of their shows at big stadiums? And find that one show. Maybe All In will be their WrestleMania, and they'll get 60, 70, 80,000 people to come in and watch the show, which I would. So I got a what if, a would you rather to end the show. Would you rather be there live when The Undertaker lost his WrestleMania streak, or when Roman Reigns finally loses his belts? The Dry, you go first.
I would rather. I don't live in the past, so I would rather be there when Roman Reigns lost his belt, because he's losing to Cody, and we can all lift Cody on our shoulders and drag him around the arena.
Yeah, drag him. Man, oh man. Roman Reigns lose championship from Caleb. And then, of course, I'd rather be there when Roman loses. Gran Torino, your turn.
Yeah, I would rather see Roman lose than see The Undertaker lose at WrestleMania. Like, that would be such a heartbreaking moment to have been there, because you're so sure Lesnar was going to lose.
Yep.
So, yeah, I would rather see Roman lose those belts and be there for the end of the tyrannical reign, so to speak. Yeah.
Golden Graham, your turn.
Oh, we're going 3 for 3. I want to be there when Roman loses the title. I want to be able to cheer and be happy about it, not be sad that a part-timer ended the greatest commodity in all of wrestling, which is The Undertaker's WrestleMania streak.
Yeah. Absolutely. Which always befuddled me, because Shawn Michaels is called Mr. WrestleMania, but WrestleMania streak as The Undertaker's never made sense. Should have been the other way around. Or it should have been they called The Undertaker Mr. WrestleMania because of the WrestleMania streak. So,
yeah.
I mean, Liam brings up a good point. Lesnar didn't need the victory against Undertaker. No.
That's a podcast all onto its own.
Yes, that is our hot take episode, which we will do again soon.
I think I'll make it 4 for 4. I think I would love to have been there to see The Undertaker lose. It would have just been a momentous occasion. So to see him lose that WrestleMania streak, I think brought 60,000 people together in a shared experience. But we're talking about a guy who's had the belt for over 1,000 days. This is 3 years worth of storytelling. And the payoff has to be perfect. You can't half-ass this. You cannot half-ass this. And I would love to be there live, hard camera, front row, and see Roman Reigns get pinned or submitted and get the 1, 2, 3, and just to see that reaction, because the crowd is going to go freaking bonkers. You're going to hear
AFB wants to be the next WWE GIF.
Yeah. I mean, it's just gonna be amazing. So, guys, that's our show. We tallied through it. So now, of course, we go through the day. We are involved in a prediction league, and we cut promos and we have our own championships and all this other stuff. But there's something to be said about actually running the ropes. There's something to be said about taking a bump. There's something to be said about the feeling of the mat, about learning how to take a bump, how to take a fall, how to run the ropes, all that fun stuff. And you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't need to do it. I can do professional wrestling. Professional wrestling is You can't, brother, but you can learn how. And here's how you can. Whether you're in Florida, in Tampa, whether you're outside of Florida, but this has been your dream, is to be an actual professional wrestler, like Hunter Rayner, who's a member of AFW. He's a legit real wrestler. You can go to wrestling school And you can learn from Brian Idle, from Natalia Markova, because they're the lead trainers and they're in the NWA. And you can learn how to take a bump, how to run the ropes, how to jump off the turnbuckle, how to bounce off of a table like Natalia Markova has done multiple times in her career. All you need to do is go to Tampa and go to Fight the World Wrestling and go to their school. And they had a show Saturday, correct?
Yes, and it was sold out. I got a picture.
Yeah.
And it was jam packed. So they're obviously going to do this again. It was successful.
So it's $250 a month. You can start training to become a professional wrestler today. It's Fight the World Wrestling, ftwprowrestling.com. Sign up. $250 is nothing, man. Get a part-time job, rent a crappy hotel room, because one day you're gonna be the next John Cena, or you're gonna be the next Ric Flair, or the next Piper. You know, like maybe your moniker is gonna be Whoop. There it is. And, people are gonna be it for the rest of their lives because you became a professional wrestler.
Or maybe you could be like LA Knight and rip off the Rock and Stone Cold. Yeah. Torito's like giving me the death stare now.
So go to FTW Pro Wrestling, sign up, take the classes, $250 a month. You can become a masked wrestler and take on the JFB because I wear a mask when I wrestle. Oh, they put it away. Oops. Anyway.
Hey, we don't know which mask, so you're still safe.
That's true. And I got a multitude of masks. I got plenty of them. So you're like, hey, how do I get in touch with you guys? How do I find all this information? Well, there's two ways you can go about doing it. You go to fnwrestling.com, go all the way down to the bottom is our social media links, or right below you, right beneath you in the summary of the YouTube at youtube.com/fnwrestling is our links to our social media. That's AFW. That's the All FN Wrestling group page, the AFW group page. Get into our chat rooms, hang out with us, talk to us, talk about.
And while you're watching right now, hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. But hit that like button because it helps us get more views.
Yep, exactly. So click like, click subscribe, and click share, because we want you to share why you love this show with all your friends. And now we have a good way for you to even sponsor us on YouTube. You can do 5, 10, 25, or 40. You can be a jobber. You can be a world champion. That money goes directly to the show. We use it to go ahead and get get our guests, and our guests don't do this for free. They don't step in the ring for free. Why should they do a podcast for free? And we want to get guys like Brian Cage and Jake the Snake and all these other great guys talk about the sport we love the most. So you can do it that way. But then you're like, well, I gave $20 or $25 to you guys already, but I want to show the world how much I love All FN Wrestling. Well, you can go ahead and get one of the shirts that we are wearing, the All FN Wrestling shirt, the FN Wrestling Kool-Aid shirt. Now, we make it look good, but she makes it look amazing. Natalia Markova, that's right, the All FN Wrestling shirt. She's got our middle fingers as well. You can get the shirt that I have, which is our Cult's Drinks Taste So Good, and it covers the taste of the poison. Where do you get those shirts? ProWrestlingTees.com/FN Wrestling. Now, if you like old school wrestling and you watched a couple weeks ago, we saw a great show about freaking Adrian Adonis. And it was a little bit of a hit job, but the people that spoke of him well. And you're like, well, I want to show that I like that show and I like Adrian Adonis. Well, there's one way to do it. You go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Adrian Adonis, where you can get all of your adorable Adrian Adonis gear. Captain Dry, what do we have on in store for this week?
All right, so we got an exciting episode on Wednesday. We got Dynamite After Dark.
Yeah.
And then we got on Friday, we got Wrestling with Paranormal. We got some a really a pretty scary story we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Magic of Wrestling on Saturday morning. And then we'll go back to Collision After Dark, and then we're back again for the show next Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. All right, guys. Well, on behalf of Ken the Dry, Gran Torino, the Last Assassin, GM Joe, the Golden Graham, I am the JFB.
And, sometimes life, it's really hard. Like sometimes, you struggle to get out of bed in the morning, but get out of bed, dust yourself off, wash your face, and remember to just keep fighting.
That's right. Get it.
This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.